The origin of the Orishas in Africa. Long before the modern world questioned the mysteries of life and death, the ancient Yoruba people of West Africa had already developed a sophisticated spiritual system, one that tied humanity to nature, ancestors, and the divine. At its center were the Orishas, not distant gods, but powerful forces that bridge heaven and earth. The Yoruba believed in a supreme being, Olodumare, creator of all existence. Yet Olodumare was too vast, too transcendent, to be approached directly. Instead, divine energy flowed through the Orishas, who acted as intermediaries between humans and the ultimate source of life. Each Orisha governed a domain of nature: the oceans, the rivers, the forests, fire, storms, iron, love, fertility, justice, and healing. But here lies the first curiosity. The Orishas are not flawless beings. They laugh, they love, they rage, they err. They are deeply human-like in their personalities: proud, jealous, courageous, protective. For the Yoruba, this duality revealed something profound. Divinity was not perfection beyond reach. Divinity was in the very contradictions of human life. Some Orishas were believed to exist since the dawn of creation, cosmic and eternal. Others were once humans, kings, queens, healers, warriors, who achieved such greatness that their spirits ascended to immortality. In this way, the Orishas embodied both nature's eternal forces and ancestral memory. They were living links between earth, sky, and lineage. Imagine standing in an ancient Yoruba village centuries ago, the air vibrating with the sound of drums, chants rising into the night, dancers whirling in sacred rhythms. To outsiders, it might have looked like mere performance, but to the Yoruba, it was a living ritual, a moment when the Orishas themselves descended into the circle, possessing the dancers, breathing through their bodies. Did you know that, for the Yoruba, every river, every tree, every flash of lightning was a manifestation of an Orisha's presence? Nature was alive, sacred, and watching. This worldview gave the Yoruba people resilience. For when the nightmare of the Atlantic slave trade began, when millions were torn from their homelands and shipped in chains to the Americas, their Orishas traveled with them, hidden in memory, in song, in secrecy. Though slave masters tried to silence the drums, burn the rituals, and forbid the names, the Orishas survived. Their story was only beginning. The forced crossing, the arrival of the Orishas in Brazil. Between the 16th and 19th centuries, nearly 5 million Africans were shipped to Brazil. They arrived in chains, but their spirits carried treasures that no ship could seize: memory, song, and faith. Among these treasures were the Orishas. For the enslaved, life in Brazil was brutal. Families were broken, languages forbidden, traditions mocked. Yet in the secret corners of plantations and senzalas, whispers of the Orishas remained. Every drumbeat, every chant was an act of resistance, a declaration that African spirituality would not die. But survival required adaptation. Catholic colonizers forced conversion, demanding that enslaved Africans abandon their gods. To protect their faith, the Yoruba and other African peoples began a strategy of disguise: syncretism. Orishas were hidden behind Catholic saints. Oxasi, the hunter, was masked as Saint Sebastian. Imanya, mother of the seas, merged with Our Lady of Navigators. Exengo, the thunderous judge, was aligned with Saint Jerome. To the masters, it looked like devotion to saints. In truth, the Orishas were alive under new names. This blending gave rise to Brazil's unique spiritual identity. Out of suffering and secrecy was born Candomblé, and later Umbanda, religions that preserved African essence while absorbing local and European influences. The terreiros, sacred houses of worship, became spaces of resistance where enslaved people reconnected with ancestors, healed wounds, and remembered freedom. Imagine this paradox. While their bodies were chained in the fields, their souls danced in the terreiros. Each ritual was not just worship, but survival. The Orishas became the heartbeat of Brazilian resistance. They reminded the enslaved that they were more than property, more than bodies under the lash. They were children of powerful deities, guardians of secrets older than the empire that enslaved them. Centuries later, this resilience would spill into public life. Carnival rhythms, samba beats, and New Year's offerings at the beach all echo the survival of the Orishas. Their forced crossing did not extinguish them. It spread them across continents, making their story global. Who are the Orishas? Divine personalities revealed. To understand the Orishas is to step into a pantheon unlike any other, a spiritual family of gods and ancestors who embody the raw essence of human nature and the forces of the world. Exu, the misunderstood trickster, guardian of the crossroads, opener of paths, communicator between humans and the divine. Often demonized by colonizers, yet in truth, he is life's movement itself. Ogum, the warrior, lord of iron and technology, breaker of chains, patron of progress and destruction alike. Oxasi, the hunter, guardian of the forests, bringer of food and abundance, protector of those who live off the land. Exango, the thunder god, embodiment of justice, feared and revered for his balance of fairness and fury. Oxum, goddess of love, beauty, rivers, fertility, but also vanity and jealousy, the complexities of human desire. Imanya, queen of the seas, mother of all Orishas, nurturing yet tempestuous, symbol of family and protection. Obalue, Omulu, lord of healing and disease, feared for his power over sickness, revered for his ability to cure. Each Orisha represents a duality, light and shadow, creation and destruction. They are mirrors of ourselves. Did you know that in Yoruba belief, every person is born with a guardian Orisha, known as Orisha of the head, who shapes destiny, personality, and life lessons? In rituals, devotees connect with their Orisha through offerings, songs, and dances until the spirit descends into the body, merging human and divine. To witness it is to see the veil between worlds torn away. This pantheon is not myth in the sense of distant legend. It is a living reality, pulsing in tereros, whispered in prayers, and celebrated in festivals across the globe. Orishas in daily life, rituals, festivals, and mysteries. Though many imagine the Orishas confined to temples, their presence spills everywhere into daily Brazilian life and beyond. Every offering of flowers to the ocean on New Year's Eve is a tribute to Imanya. Every beat of samba carries echoes of Exu and Ogum. Every carnival parade that invokes African ancestry is, in truth, a celebration of the Orisha's survival. In tereros, rituals follow sacred rhythms. Drums summon the spirits, songs in Yoruba call their names, and offerings, food, drinks, flowers, metal, align the human with the divine. Each Orisha has colors, symbols, and sacred numbers. White for Oxala, red and black for Exu, blue for Imanya. Rituals are precise, built from centuries of tradition. But these practices have also spread into public celebrations. On February 2nd, thousands flocked to Bahia's shores to honor Imanya with gifts of perfume, jewelry, and mirrors. Even those who claim no connection to candomblé participate, perhaps without knowing they are engaging in one of the oldest African rituals alive. Did you know that millions of Brazilians unknowingly honor Orishas every year during New Year's Eve, when they wear white and throw flowers into the ocean? These rituals are more than culture. They are acts of identity. They assert that African spirituality, once persecuted, now shapes national traditions. Yet, intolerance persists. Temples are attacked, followers stigmatized. Still, the Orishas endure, in the rhythm of the drum, in the whisper of the sea, in the fire of devotion. Orishas and human destiny, the spiritual call. Beyond history and ritual lies the most profound truth. The Orishas are not only gods of nature. They are guides of destiny. Each person, it is said, carries an Orisha of the head, a spiritual protector who influences character, strengths, and trials. To live disconnected from one's Orisha is to walk blind. To align with them is to walk in harmony with fate. The myths of the Orishas, called Itin, are not just stories but lessons. Exengo teaches justice, Oxum teaches the power and danger of desire, Ogum the necessity of courage, and Imanya the balance between nurturing and independence. Each tale is a mirror of the human condition. What if your greatest struggles are not random, but challenges set by your guardian Orisha, designed to shape your soul's growth? Today, despite centuries of suppression, the Orishas are alive across the globe. From Brazil to Cuba, from Nigeria to the United States, their songs are sung, their dances performed, their names whispered. They are not relics of the past, but living presences shaping millions of lives. The Orishas are not distant myths. They are nature's voice, ancestral memory, and the mirror of our humanity. To know them is to know ourselves, our strengths, our flaws, our destiny. So the question remains, which Orisha walks beside you? And are you ready to listen to their call?